Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Rosie Routledge, your go-to girl for all things Dubai life, from sharing the real side of dating in the city to guiding expat life to keeping it honest and totally relatable. Rosie's content is the guide you didn't know you needed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So for people who don't know who Rosie is and what your type of content is, can you describe what it is?
Yeah, so I feel like my content is quite real and raw. I do make a lot of content about dating in Dubai, lots of things, just about life in general in Dubai, what to do, places to go, affordable things to do, bougie things to do.
Nice.
So yeah, just giving an insight into living in Dubai.
All the important things that we need.
Yes.
But give us an insight about you. Like, when did you move to Dubai? Are you an OG or is it more of a recent thing?
No, I'm not an OG. I've been here a year now. I'm from near Manchester back home, very small town, so quite the contrast coming here. But yeah, I came originally, I started doing real estate, which I feel like most people do when they come here. That didn't work out. So yeah, now I'm focusing more on content. I feel like it's just not for me. It's a very difficult job. I feel like a lot of people come, try it out. Some people succeed and do really well, and others don't. But I feel like I needed to try it because it's just part of Dubai life. Come, try real estate. But it wasn't for me.
So interesting.
And by the way, we've heard a lot of influencers from all over the world that are coming to Dubai. Why do you think so many people are attracted to Dubai?
Lifestyle, I think, being the main thing. It's so glitz and glam. It's so like such a forward city. It's clean. I feel like that's one big thing. And yeah, just lifestyle. But I think a lot of that is not actually the reality here. I mean, it is, but there's definitely like two sides of Dubai, I think, yeah. Which is what I'm kind of trying to show now, the other side of Dubai, that you don't have to be in a Lamborghini, you don't have to do this, you can go to Kite Beach, do a nice walk, there's other things you can do here, yeah.
And did you know that before you moved?
Well, I've been here on holiday a lot before I moved, but I think living here and being on holiday are two very different things, which people did tell me before I moved here, but I think, yeah, coming on holiday, you see that side, the luxury side, the nice restaurants, bars, everything. And then when you live here, obviously day to day is just quite mundane and boring. So I feel like that can be like quite challenging as well to change and be like, oh, normal life here is just normal life anyway, really. But it's what you make it, isn't it?
But I have to ask, what was your biggest cultural shock, if you had any, here in Dubai?
I don't really feel like I have, to be honest. I feel like Dubai feels very, very much like home. There's a lot of British expats here. So, yeah, I don't think I've really felt that much, to be honest. Yeah.
And if there's someone watching now who's thinking of moving, potentially taking on a real estate job, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
Do your research for sure, and just come have fun with it. I feel like you need to give it at least 3 months. That would be my rule of thumb, because obviously moving to a new place, it's scary, and you need time to settle, meet new friends, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just take it as it comes, yeah.
We often hear that newcomers here in Dubai, they'd say that once they come in Dubai, if they didn't grow up here, they didn't have their education here, they'd feel a bit lonely. Was that the case for you?
Yes, yeah. I think Dubai and any city in the world, a big city, can be quite lonely. But again, I think you've really got to put yourself out there. That's one thing. You can't, if you just stay at home, you're not going to make any friends. Same with dating. If you just stay at home, you're not going to meet anyone. You have to put yourself out there, go and make new friends, meet new people. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now. I feel like I've been here a year now and I'm still feeling that. So, and I think actually after a year, I was quite down when I got to a year and I wasn't expecting that. And I think you kind of have these like expectations of what you should have done by a year, or it's quite a milestone. So yeah, I still feel that now. I think you really do have to put yourself out there.
And it's a continuous thing, I would say, because people keep leaving as well.
Yeah, people come and people go.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, literally, it's so hard.
Do you think having a big presence online makes it easier or harder to make friends?
It makes it Well, I don't know, probably a little bit of both, because I feel like online people will have this like perception of you that might not necessarily be the real you. So I think it depends on the people that you're meeting, but definitely it's good for networking, yeah, and just interacting with new people. Like I'll go out and people say to me, oh, you're that girl on TikTok, and I'm like, oh. But I feel like your videos, they must reach the right kind of audience for the right people to see you, so. Yeah,
it's true. We all find the dating in Dubai content.
Yeah, that's the one that seems to
all
do the
over
best.
everyone's For You page, dating in Dubai content. But you started a specific series. It's called Broken Dubai.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have to ask you from the expert herself.
Yes.
What's your go-to budget spot and hack here in Dubai?
Oh God, you're putting me under pressure now. Well, I don't know, to be honest, because I've just kind of started it. I'm still doing my research. I'm trying to find affordable things to do. I've kind of done like quite a few, but I feel like the more I go, it's probably going to get harder to find things because I've done it all. But I feel like in the summer, there's lots of things now that I've been researching where you can go and get good deals and stuff. A lot of people say like, this shouldn't be in this series because the price is not fair, but I guess it's subjective. But I'm trying to think of things that are like 100 dirham and less that people can do. But yeah, it wouldn't include going out to the bougie bars. I don't think that's really an option, but you know, activities, there are things you can do. It's obviously harder in the summer, I think, because things are indoors, so you would have to pay, but in the winter, there's lots of things you can do that are free.
We've been just saying like summer here is so, but it's a bit boring. There isn't much to do. But I think we can find indoor hacks and indoor activities.
Yeah. Again, comes back to it is what you make it. So more time indoors in the summer, I think.
Speaking of what you make it, we've touched on dating, so let's dive a little bit deeper. You have a series called Dating in Dubai. Do you think after you're living here, it is easy to meet the one in Dubai?
No, definitely not. But I do meet some people who have found someone here and they're engaged, they're getting married, they're having a kid now. So I guess it happens, but I think it's definitely harder. I think especially coming from like a smaller town where there's less people, I think you would be more likely to meet someone in that setting. People come here and there's so many like attractive people, there's so much to see, and I think people just get lost in it all, and no one wants anything serious, so I think it's definitely harder to find.
So what do you think is the biggest red flag?
My biggest red flag? That's a good question. Maybe guys who on dating apps, people don't put like their pictures of their face. They'll just put pictures of like flowers, cars, money, and I'm like, that is the biggest red flag, because number one, you've probably got a girlfriend if you're not posting your own face. Or even same just on like Instagram, guys will have an account and there's just nothing on there, no face, nothing. So I think that's the biggest tell.
Yeah,
oh you've clearly got something. How can you meet someone and not even know what they look like? You know?
Yeah, it is scary. And this reminds me of something. Do you remember that Facebook page? What was it called?
Who's that guy anyway?
Or are you dating
are we
my
dating
boyfriend?
the same guy?
Are we dating the same guy?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that group. But they have them everywhere, every city. But I think it's a really good thing that because.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had to log off of that because I feel like it's not good for your mentals. Yeah, because then you just, if that's all you're taking in, you just think everyone's bad. So. Trying not to do that so much now.
Honestly, very same. I got out of those groups because I was like, it's giving me trust issues.
Yeah, literally, yeah. And you hear all these crazy stories and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life.
So those stories, if you haven't seen them, they're a bit on the more infidelity, but you also share stories that are kind of more lighthearted about dating. For example, the one, you basically got car catfished.
Yes, yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I feel like that video did really well because I feel like a lot of people wanted to trash me and say like, oh, well, I'm just looking for money, blah, 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 which I get it, fair enough. But I feel like in a place like Dubai, it's very give and take. That's what I feel, you know. Men want women for their looks and women want men for their money. I feel like that is the top and bottom of it. But anyway, I went on the date regardless. And I'm not that kind of person. I could have just left, you know, but he came anyway. Backstory, if anyone's not seen it, he like his dating profile had Lamborghinis, G-Wagons, all that kind of thing. And then he came and picked me up in a Nissan Sunny. And then, which is fine, that's okay. I still went on the date, but his attitude throughout the date was just not good at all. He had a very big ego, that's what I'll say. And yeah, it was probably the worst day of my life. So I probably shouldn't have gone in the first place, to be honest. But yeah.
Tell me about the comments, because I don't think it's like a gold digger thing or something to, if someone presents a certain type of image, that's what you're doing with your photos, to turn up in a different image.
It's a lie.
Regardless of what it is. So
pretending to be someone you're not.
Exactly.
It's a lie. It's a red flag.
And what's the point in that? Because then as soon as you go, you're gonna know that that's not real. So it's the same thing if I like edited my pictures to the highest degree and then went and looked nothing like my photos. I'm sure he would have something to say. Yeah.
With the types of comments you get on your videos, because they're hitting 1 million views or something, like. Does it make you nervous about sharing like another story and another story? Yeah,
it does for sure. I feel like I'm more like careful, I guess. Like I think about the content a bit more now. But it's frustrating because those are the ones that do the best. The ones that are more gossipy and people love to kind of jump on. And I feel like sometimes the ones that do well, it's like the way I thought of it, it's like perceived completely different. And then that's when people really start jumping on it. But I mean, I can't complain because then they do really well. So,
but how are the comment section like? Do you get attacked? Do you get supporters? Do you get backlash?
Yes, I get a lot of that.
Is it from a specific gender or is it?
More men, I would say, to be fair. I get all kinds of things, comments on the way I look, blah, blah, blah. But and it depends on the day. Like most of the time I brush it off, but there's been a couple of times when it's been my time of the month, you know, and it's got to me. Because it does sometimes, like there's like hundreds and hundreds of people saying stuff, but then it's like I am putting myself out there, so
they're
you've
trolls,
got to take
that's
it.
what they do.
Yeah, and they would never say it to your face.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, they would never.
Never.
Have you ever deleted a video?
No, not yet. I've maybe thought about it, but I haven't, no. But sometimes, when you get a lot of feedback and a lot of comments. But I think it always becomes like conflicted. People in the comments will be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with what she said. Other people will be like, oh, yeah. So people have different opinions, I guess, and that's part of it.
You usually respond to comments or do you just leave them?
I do respond to comments, yeah. Some people say I shouldn't, but I do. Mostly for engagement at the beginning. I'll just keep commenting back. And then it gets to a certain point and I'm like, okay, I don't need to reply to anyone now. Because then other people start arguing in my comments with each other. So I'm like, okay, I'm done now.
If you're going on a date, would you rather a man who splits the bill or who goes all out on date one? We're talking like OTT, flowers, gift, picking you up.
Yeah, that one. The latter. For sure. I don't mind, like first date, I don't want to pay 50-50 if I'm being real. But later down the line, I think a guy should do the most, but I don't mind, you know, if he's got this, I'll get this later on. But I feel like the first date is a time where they should be putting their best foot forward. And I don't like it when people are like, oh, let's go for a walk on the first date or come over to my hotel for the first date. I'm like, come on, be real now. So yeah, the more effort, the better, I think.
What do you think is the most expensive date you've been taken on first date? And was it good?
I wouldn't say I've been on any super expensive dates. Nice, I've been to C'est La Vie a couple of times. I like it there, that's a really nice place. Royal Atlantis, I guess, but nothing too crazy.
Still
no Lamborghinis yet. So,
but still fancy.
I mean, shout out Royal Atlantis on a first date.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Fun. Fun. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If someone asked you what is your ideal first date, what would it be?
It would be something like that, nice dinner.
Yeah.
Yes, because I feel like a lot of people say, oh, let's go and do an activity for a first date. But for me, I feel like if we can't sit across from each other and have a chat for a couple of hours, then what's the point? Because I feel like people go to, you know, activities, cinema, just kind of to make it less awkward.
Yeah.
But I feel like let's go, have a chat, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. you know?
I did a cinema first date before. It was so awkward.
Yeah,
Probably because
it's-
I'm so awkward, but it was awkward.
Yeah, I just feel like, what's the point? Because you can't even chat to each other, can you?
You need to chat.
Yeah.
So let's be positive for a little bit. What do you think is the biggest green flag in the city?
Green flag in the city, the safety. It's got to be the safety, I think. Every time I go back home, and the cleanliness again. I just think Dubai in general, you get used to this like standard of living that's just insane, and it's never going to be matched anywhere else. Everyone's so friendly. Clean, neat, tidy. You can leave your front door open and nothing's going to happen. You just can't get that anywhere else, can you? And I think another really good green flag, this place motivates you to do so well. I feel like back home, everyone's just out partying every weekend and you're living for the weekend and then they go back to work sad and depressed. I feel like here there's very much, the 5 a.m. run club. I mean, I'm not a member of that, I'm not going to lie. Maybe someday. But, there's like the health and wellness is like a really big thing here, which you can kind of tap into both lifestyles, but it seems to be like a really big thing. I think people just see this lifestyle, nice cars, good jobs, and it makes you want that as well. So it makes you work harder. So, I think it's a really good place to be.
And you're full-time social media.
Yes, we're getting there, yeah.
Amazing. So, I mean, you've kind of lived the dream. You came to Dubai a year ago, working real estate, and now you're TikTok, Instagram, huge accounts, and you're full-time. For someone wanting to do the same thing, like, should they go down the TikTok route, go down the Instagram route? Like, what would you tell them if they want to take their first step into social media?
TikTok is the way to go. It really is. I mean, now I've started posting more on Instagram and I am getting there, but if you want faster growth, TikTok is the way to go. And it wasn't even in my plan. I just made a video when I was moving apartments and it did really well. So then I was just like, off the back of that, okay, let me make another video. And then started growing like that.
How can you earn money, a living from TikTok?
No, from collaborations, but not from actual TikToks here, which is frustrating because I know back home you can get like the creator fund. But it is what it is. I'd rather be here in the sunshine than back home. So, yeah.
So, what's on your vision board for the next year?
I don't really know. I'm just going with the flow to keep growing, obviously. I have lots of different ideas of like content, series and stuff that I want to do. Nice. But just keep growing, keep meeting people, keep networking. I feel like networking is a very big thing in Dubai. So the more people you know, the more knowledge you have and see where things take me.
Well, the very best of luck to you. Before
you.
you leave us, can you play a little game with us called Pop the Balloon?
Yes, of course. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to give you some balloons.
This is like the dating show thing.
Kind of. We're going to say like things about guys, and if you think it's icky, you'll pop the balloon.
Okay.
Okay. So
There'll be a few then, I'm sure.
Well, we've got 4 balloons.
Okay. We need more.
This is the popper. Okay, so
you.
pop the balloon if with Rosie Routledge. They go to brunch every weekend.
Every weekend is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've seen the way that they move in there, so yeah.
Get it. Next one.
Okay, so next one, if they're very active on Instagram and Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah.
Snapchat is a deal breaker for a lot of people.
I feel like why have you got Snapchat if you're like a 35-year-old man?
Yeah.
Clearly, you're just using that to talk to girls.
It's easier to hide conversations on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So it is a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Did you know about that thing on WhatsApp now where you can like hide the conversation? Like in the chat, like you have to have a keyword to find the chat.
No
so if you do have a partner, there's no way that they would find it because the keyword could be like, I don't know, shoes or something, and you would have to search that to find the chat.
Mark Zuckerberg is not helping us out here.
Helping us.
And what about if they're active on Instagram?
I mean, that's okay, I guess.
Instagram's okay.
As I just don't be following loads of girls, you know, which I feel like they do that, but that's a red flag for sure.
So if they talk about their salary on their first date.
Yeah.
Confetti.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, I feel like you're showing off probably. So
Yeah.
I feel like don't do too much. If you've got a good salary, like that's fine. Keep it to yourself. That would show at some point. And I also feel like, especially in Dubai, I've had this where I've dated guys where they're like, I don't have any money. I don't earn a lot of money. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay, like that's fine. Like, but you know, I don't know. Maybe they feel like girls are just there for that reason, which is fair. But I feel like, you know, again, put your best foot forward. You don't need to come on a date and be like, I don't have this, or say that you do have this, you know, just leave it.
I know someone, I won't say my friend, I know someone who's married
Yeah.
and she doesn't know her partner's salary.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, so when do you think is an okay time, or is it a right thing to bring money to the
Yeah, I
table?
don't know actually, because do you need to know their salary? I don't know.
If you're married, I think you need to
Well,
know.
yeah, okay, if you're married, yeah, fair enough. I don't know, but I would probably feel awkward like asking someone. Maybe if you were getting to that point, say, oh yeah, we never discussed that. But I wouldn't just be like, oh, how much do you earn? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it comes up naturally.
Yeah,
Comes up
probably,
naturally,
yeah.
like
I've
when the
never got that
relationship's serious. So last one, if they're into crypto.
No, I don't think that's a red flag.
Yeah.
People make good money doing that. So
Yeah.
I know that I feel like there is a bit of a stigma for guys who are doing that. But no, I don't think that's a red flag.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it.
Just
I'd
don't
love to
talk to me
understand
about
it.
it. Do whatever you want to do, but don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to know how to do it, but I think it's too much numbers for me.
It is.
Yeah, can't do that. But I feel like the girls should be getting onto that because it seems to be like a guy thing. And it'd be really cool if all the girlies were making money doing that too.
Imagine
Yeah.
with our Lambos.
Yeah, there you go. We don't need them anymore. We'll do it ourselves.
We'll be showing up with our Lambos on our Instagrams.
We'll be pulling up, taking them on a date in the Lambo.
Why not? Dream big.
Yeah.
Rosie, thank you so much for joining us. How can people find you if they want to?
Instagram, I am at Rosie Routledge with 2 E's, and same on TikTok. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking everything
Thank
Dubai this
you.
morning with us. Really appreciate your time.
Perfect. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
And thanks, Masa.
Thank you, Casey.
And that brings us to the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.